Grandis, Candace, and Summer was in that vehicle. Grandis, Candace, and Summer. Right? Candace and Grandis are lying. We know they've been. Grandma ran off. Grandass ran the hell out of there, right? She ran like hell out of there. Candace and this woman, nothing. I mean, even Grandis don't want to talk about Summer's case. In the news interview, we seen how she was trying, just like Dawn and just like Candace, not to talk about Summer. Well, I'm going to tell you, when accidents happen, when, abductions happen, when things happen out of your control, you don't care to talk about it. You don't care to talk about it. The shit that you care to talk about, that you don't want to talk about, is things that's going to get you put in prison. When it's not an accident is when you don't want to talk about it. When it's not an abduction, you don't want to talk about it. When it's not wandering off, you don't want to talk about it. That's all I got to say. And none of these people want to talk about it, right? They don't want to talk about it. So that tells you, that tells you they're guilty as hell right there, in my opinion. I'll tell you what happened. Candace dropped Grandma. She dropped Grandma off. As you see on the map right there, she dropped Grandma off at 110 Ben Hill Road. Jody Sue was across the street. Jody Sue's across the street. I don't think Jody Sue really knew shit yet. I think Candace dropped Grandma off at 110 Ben Hill Road. She took Summer, just her and Summer, went down to Fred's house. Went down to Fred's. Obviously, blew a smoke screen up his backside that some accident happened maybe or something, and somehow got them involved, right? Somehow got them involved. Right. That's what I think. This is my opinion. Somehow got Laura and Fred involved in it. Now, that's where they ended up at. They all ended, up down at Fred's. Candace, Summer, Fred, and Laura. Possibility, maybe even Cotton. I don't know if Cotton was there or not. I mean, Fred's placing Cotton on 110 Ben Hill Road. But I'm afraid to tell you, Fred, Cotton was always at your house, according to the neighbors around you. Yes, I have spoke to some of them. Actually, quite a few. It ain't hard to get a hold of your neighbors. And I'm going to tell you, Fred, according to these neighbors, Cotton really didn't know anybody as well as he knew you. He was one of your buyers. You were a supplier and he was a buyer. And it seems like, and also Chad was a buyer and you were the supplier. And that's why these people were coming in there that day. And Chad almost got to see what I believe Cotton saw. That's what I believe. What was in the box, Fred? What did Cotton see that was in the box? Or did you tell him what was in the box? He didn't confide nothing in you about something. You confided in him about something in a box. You know what it was that's supposed to be in the box, you guys? Well, I'm going to tell you. And this isn't easy. But I'm about to tell you what's supposed to have been in the box. Summer's head. Summer's head was supposed to be in the box as Fred's collateral. As collateral for Fred. That's what I heard. I heard that they had to do that. They had to do that because she wouldn't fit. She wouldn't fit where they was wanting to put her. And that's what they done. And then Fred decided to keep that part in a box for collateral in case somebody tries to come at him. What he's doing is he's saying, don't try to come back at me or hurt me or do anything to me, because law enforcement will end up with this box and the story will be told. Now, I also heard that there is a certain place that law enforcement's about getting ready to look. They're getting ready to look in a certain place for the remainder of Summer. I don't know. This is just what I'm hearing through the grapevine. They're going to be looking. They're going to be looking a certain place to see if it's true. I don't know. But it's to my understandings that Cotton confided into his sister and to another family member that Fred Hill had Summer's head in a box. That's what I heard. He wanted to tell someone. He was afraid to tell law enforcement. He was scared, but he needed to tell someone. And that's what he told them. Now, I don't know. It sounds like that. It sounds to me like these two cases were intertwined. They were intertwined. And both of these two were victims. Both of them were victims to pure evilness on Ben Hill Road. To pure evilness on Ben Hill Road. Both of them. I've got a lot more information than just this that I've heard. Now, was the box? What was the box in the cave? Was the box being held in a cave? Is that where Fred and Laura and Cotton went that night? And I heard that Cotton was at the night, the evening that Cotton ended up dead. I heard that, and this is, someone told me this. This ain't my words. This is someone close to this family's words. Someone told me that Cotton was at Fred's house and he was really messed up. He was there and he was really messed. He had been there doing illegal substances with Fred and Laura. And I heard that he left. And I heard that Laura and Fred followed him. I heard they followed him. No, let me take that back. Fred followed the car. Laura was driving Cotton's car. Here's what they said. Laura was driving Cotton's car with Cotton because he was too messed up to drive. Fred was following the car. Laura was driving Cotton's car. And Cotton, they had parked his car beside his mother's grave. They parked the car beside his mother's grave. Yeah. And he told Laura to go on and leave, that he was going to walk the rest of the way home. And he didn't make it home. He did not make it home. That's what I heard. Now, here's what I think. I think he was at Fred's house. I think they were getting all messed up. I think that Laura did drive Cotton's car and Fred followed as if they were helping him. And I think they went to Laurel Run Park and wanted him to bring them the box out of that cave. And when they got up to that cave, and even law enforcement said that they felt that more than one person was there that did this to Cotton, more than one. They felt that one person couldn't have done the damage that was done to Cotton Simpson. They felt that there was two people. Well, Laura was driving his vehicle. Fred was following. Who else would he have been with? He wasn't with nobody else. They were the two with him that evening when he met his destination, right? To the other side. That's what I understand. So I don't know. Well, there is evidence that his case is a homicide. There is evidence that he did have what Fred was selling in his system. Yeah, there's a lot of evidence law enforcement has where Fred, where Fred's concerned. Absolutely. Possible they got Laura's fingerprints off the steering wheel. Maybe found some of her hair inside the vehicle. I don't know. I don't know what all evidence they got. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Well, when a man, how are you going to show receipts? Put a one in the chat. Please put a one in the chat. If anyone's ever came and told you a secret, if anyone's ever came and told you a secret and asked you not to tell it, like, something not good, and they asked you not to tell it, maybe they wrecked the vehicle, maybe someone was touching them inappropriately and they were trying to confide in you, maybe they stole something. If someone's ever confided in you with a secret, please put one in the chat. Oh, here we go. Absolutely. Now I'm going to tell you. How can you show a receipt on that? How are you going to show a receipt on it? You ain't going to show no receipt on something someone confided in you. There's no receipt to show. They told you, you didn't think about recording it. You didn't think about pulling out a tape recorder, did you? No. You didn't think about pulling a tape recorder out and recording it. You listen to them. You just listen to them. There's no receipt to show when people tell you stuff like this, right? There's nothing to show. I can't show a receipt because the two people that Cotton told this to, they don't have no receipt. They don't have no recording of Cotton telling them that. They didn't think they didn't think he was going to end up the way he did. They didn't ever think for 5 seconds he would end up unalived. I mean, this is stuff you don't think about. You don't think about that. I wouldn't have thought about it. I wouldn't have thought to tape record someone that's telling me a secret. You know, I wouldn't be expecting something bad to happen to him, but in today's world, hey, I guess you got to record everything, right? You got to record everything in case something does happen to the person. Because in today's world, you need receipts. You got to have receipts for everything. That's crazy. That's crazy. You know, I don't think Cotton was paranoid of the wells. I think Cotton was paranoid of what he had seen. I think Cotton was paranoid of what he may have, the secret he may have been keeping with Fred Hill. Because why would they end up inside of a cave? Why would they end up inside of a cave? Of all places, a cave. And, you know, I really don't need no receipts because I'll tell you why. Fred Hill had to take a polygraph. He took a polygraph and he failed it miserably, right? He failed it. He failed it. Inconclusive. He failed. He did not pass that lie detector's test at all. At all, you guys. He did not pass. I think they should ask Laura to take one. I really believe that Hopkins County law enforcement should ask Laura to take a lie detector's test, right? I have turned it in. And yes, I did suggest that Laura take a lie detector's test. Absolutely. Upon this particular issues. Right? I'll tell you another secret.
Yourself, and fuck you, and fuck you, and fuck you, and fuck you, and fuck you as well.